All right, so welcome to today's tutorial. We are going to go right ahead today and explore how to download and get familiar with the QGIS software and its interface. My name is Dr. Jude Jepu, and today again is another day where we demonstrate the fact that we can use GIS and its software to do a lot of things. What we are going to try doing today is to make sure that we embrace this open source software, and the one that we're going to be using today is the QGIS. Now, for us to get information about QGIS, let us go to their site, and we do that by by typing into this browser qgis.org, and I'm using the Google Chrome. So if you go to the website, you will be greeted with something like this. And as at the time of making this video, this is just the latest release from QGIS. May I tell you that QGIS is released, I think every 6 months, a new release comes up. And if you look at this place, you will see some of the timelines in which they are going to span. That spans the release of new software. But that is not our problem today. Our problem today is to look at what we can do with the QGIS software. So if we click on this place, discover QGIS, we'll see a little intro about QGIS, which says that QGIS is the leading open source desktop GIS. QGIS is a professional GIS application that is built on top of and are proud to be itself free and open source software. Free and open source means you can use it the way it is. The source codes are there for you to see and tweak and change, or particularly modify it to suit your purposes. All you need to do is just to reference that you have used QGIS to do this. So QGIS is a user-friendly open source geographic information system which is licensed under the GNU public license. Now, in order for you to get started using GIS, okay, of course, if you go through their website, you can now take a tour around that and all that. So, but first of all, let us see what QGIS can do. In this features place, it says QGIS provides a continuously growing number of capabilities provided by core functions and plugins, and we will demonstrate how we can use that. But then if we click on this place, we are taking a QGIS tour, and here we can see the features of QGIS. What can we do with QGIS? We can view data, geographic data, geospatial data, vector data, all forms of data. We can explore data and compose maps. We can create and edit, manage and export data. We can use it to analyze data. You can publish maps on the internet. You can extend the QGIS functionality through plugins, which we will get to see soon. And of course, there are core plugins that is bundled with the QGIS software. And there are external Python plugins you can download and use and extend the functionality of this particular software. Also, you have the Python console where you can interactively use the QGIS in the Python environment. So now, enough of that. We can now go back and see how to download QGIS. So if we click for users here, we will see where we can get started using QGIS. Now, the step one is to download QGIS. You check out the documentation. You connect with the QGIS community. And I may tell you that this documentation includes not just the user guide, but also a training manual and several QGIS tutorials. If you click that, you'll see where you can get tutorials in English and all that. So your first step, you can just go through the site. Everything, like I said, is free and free to use. Very, very free to do anything you want to do. So in this place, we can start by downloading QGIS. First of all, you click on get the installer. Now, there are several ways in which you can download QGIS, but we're not going to dwell too much on that. All these other ones are actually, like this is using the OSGeo4W network installer and all that. But then I will advise, because like I said, there are new releases of QGIS. If we go to this place, you can see all the releases that there have been. But then it's always important that you download the long-term releases, the LTRs, and the LTRs for QGIS for this one is the version 3.16, and of course if you are using the 64-bit architecture, your laptop, that is what you're going to download. Remember, you can download for the Windows. If you click here, it will take you to a place where you need to download. Of course, this is 390 megabytes. I've downloaded it before, so I will cancel this download. So once it finishes downloading, you can install and do a lot of things with it. But the installation is, of course, a very straightforward process. And once you finish installing, you now open the QGIS. Now, when you finish installing and open the QGIS, this is not what greets you. This is just an extreme case of having a plain canvas with which we work with. But what I want to do is to demonstrate how you can load these panels in order for you to find it easy for you to work with the GIS software. So we have several menus here. The menu bar, we can do a lot of things. Once you click on it or you hover on it, it will show you some things. But then we'll start by loading some of the panels that will make navigation of this particular interface a little bit easy for us. So what do we do? If you right click on this place, you will see all these panels that are available to you. But we'll start from these toolbars. Toolbars make it easy for us to find the tools that we need to work with. First and foremost, that we'll put is the plugins toolbar, because we will need these plugins for some things that we need to do. And secondly, we can go here and put check the map navigation toolbar. This enables us to either zoom into the map, zoom out, and all that. So also we can check this label toolbar. We can use it later when we start working, and we can do, for example, if you want to see your data sources, you can check on this toolbar. It will give you your data sources. And we'll just check a lot of these things here so that we'll have some of these tools very, very handy for us to use. Now this one I just say manage layers toolbar is just a quick and easy way for you to actually maybe add vector layer or raster layer once you click them. Now it's important to know that some of these things can be docked on different places. Once you get to this place, for example, if you hover your cursor around the demarcation here, you can take it and actually dock it anywhere that you want it to be. So you can now style it, make your work easy, for example, the way you want it. You know, there is no hard and fast rule about it. All you need to do is, how do you use this thing in order for it to be quite easy for you to use? So that is what we are doing. So you can rearrange these things in the way you want, and you just get to do that. So, and another one, okay, like the help toolbar is sort of functional. For example, if you need help, you can always click it and find that. Another one is the digitizing toolbar, which we'll be using very soon. And some other ones, like for example, the project toolbar allows you to do a lot of things with the project that you have on hand. And then lastly, this is the attributes toolbar, help us to do several things. So this is what greets us in the QGIS interface. And may I mention that this is your canvas, and whatsoever you want to do, for example, if you hover your cursor around some of them, it will tell you what you actually can do with some of them. So like this one says, you can show and highlight rectangles above labels and all that. So the other thing that we are going to be doing today will be to actually load some data and georeference them. Look at how we are going to get some sources and all that. So these are the things that we're going to be demonstrating today. So you have to, of course, appreciate the fact that QGIS offers us an easy way for us to do a lot of things. But before we start doing all that, we want to look at the core plugins that came with the software. For example, if you click on these plugins, like I said, plugins, apart from the core plugins, they extend the functionality of this our QGIS program. And one of them is, well, the way to actually see the plugins and manage them is to click on this place. So you have to be on the internet for you to use this particular tool, because this thing connects to the internet, where you see the plugins that you have installed, the ones that are yet to install, and several information that you may need to do that. So now that it has loaded, I have here if you click on this, this is all the plugins that are available as at this time. Whichever plugin you want, you can read about it on this place. For example, if you need an automatic backup, once you click it, you will have some information here. You can even go to the home page and check them out and see what they are doing. You can go to the bug tracker, you can go to the code repository and check it out. So several things can be done using this what's it called, the plugins manager and tools and all that. So for example, this particular tool, this is what it does and all this. So there are several tools because these are contributions from the QGIS community. And once you start working with QGIS and you feel that you are proficient enough, you can create some of these plugins and tools for it to be used to extend the functionality of QGIS software. Also, so let us look at the ones, and for example, yes, if you need a particular plugin, you don't have to go through all this. All you need to do is to click on here and search for it. For example, if we need the Google Earth engine, for example, if you click on this and search, you will see the Google Earth engine here. And look at this. It says it integrates QGIS with Google Earth engine. It integrates this by wrapping the GEE Python application programming interface, the API of the GEE, that is the Google Earth engine. So whichever one you want, for example, if you want to download Sentinel-2, this particular plugin allows you to do that right from your QGIS. Of course, you can do that in the website of the EOS, but then you can also do this from here. Like I said, these are just extending the functionality, the core functionality of QGIS. So there are some plugins that we need. For example, this is the installed plugins I have here. So these are the installed plugins that I have here. I have this DB Manager. Some of them are actually the core plugins that you have here. And look at this one. I installed this. So whichever one you want, you can also install it. Whichever you don't want, you can also uninstall them. So some of these ones I have here are the ones that I need. Like I said, you can type in anything and it will bring whatever you want. For example, if I want to do some groundwater modeling, okay, drastic is not available this time around, and let's just see groundwater. Maybe we'll see something on groundwater. None. Okay, sorry, I am doing that on the installed. So let's put it on all and see groundwater. So for example, on groundwater, you can see a plugin that will help you to do a groundwater vulnerability mapping method using this GLA. So I can choose to install this plugin by clicking here. You will see that it will download the data and finally install the plugin, and I can use this plugin as I wish. So if I go to the list of installed plugin, I can see that. Also, also know that you can actually, let's check this off. Okay, you can actually install from zip, although it's not always very what's it called now, very advisable, because sometimes some of this zip may contain some things that are, well, but then you have yourself to, you have things to do for yourself. So that kind of gives you an idea of what QGIS can do. Like I said, this is the canvas, and if you want to add some raster layer, for example, this adds a vector layer, the other one adds, installs a raster layer, loads a raster layer, all this. Once you hover your cursor around it, you will see the information on what to do. So the next video, we'll look at how to use some of these things. And before then, let's see if we have the georeference software, plugin, because that is one thing that we're going to do. Of course, it is one of the core plugins of QGIS. It's there, but we want to just check and say georeference. Okay, because it is one of the core plugins, we just have to, it is here, the georeferencer, and we would discuss about that in the next video. So I hope this gives you a fundamental idea of what can be done using QGIS. Like I said, it's a very, very good alternative to ArcGIS and other proprietary GIS software. The thing is that some of the things that you're going to be doing here may just not be as straightforward as it were with other ones. So, and I want to mention that once you have installed this software, somehow you will see this particular folder that is here, and this folder contains some of these things. You have the grass, you have the OSGeo, you have the QGIS desktop, the Qt designers, and all that. So this is a folder that of course has a preference to be on your desktop once you install that. So next video we'll talk about how to do georeferencing, add some vector and raster layers, and what we can do with that. Thank you for watching this video, and I remain Dr. Jude Jepu, your tutorial plugin. Thank you. Bye.